Good evening, welcome to Our News, a televised publication from the Government Information Service of the Collectivité de Saint-Martin.
Chers téléspectateurs, bonsoir et bienvenue dans cette édition spéciale d'Our News.
In cooperation with our friends from St. Martin, we celebrated the 373rd anniversary of the Treaty of Concordia. To celebrate this historic day, the Collectivité de Saint-Martin organized a 3-day event. The first day, the Conseil des Jeunes de Saint-Martin, the CTG, and the Youth Parliament of St. Martin held a debate on the issues of the Treaty of Concordia. A friendly sports competition between French St. Martin and Dutch St. Martin sports teams in volleyball, basketball, and football was held at the Jean-Louis Vanterpool Stadium in Marigot. And on Tuesday, March 23rd, the anniversary ceremony, official speeches were held on the Mont des Accords Hill. This evening, we'll be bringing you a few highlights of the 3 days of celebration in case you missed the live broadcast.
En effet, Kisha, le 23 mars est le jour d'anniversaire de la signature du traité de Concordia, il y a 373 ans. Nous fêtons donc le texte fondateur de notre maison commune. Il s'agit d'une part intégrante et constitutive de la mémoire saint-martinoise, une part de notre identité à tous, tant l'esprit de Concordia imprègne intimement les relations entre les deux parties de l'île. Donc pour célébrer ce jour historique, la collectivité de Saint-Martin a organisé 3 événements. Samedi 20 mars 2021 à 15h a eu lieu à l'hôtel de la collectivité un débat sur les enjeux du traité de Concordia entre les jeunes du Conseil des jeunes de Saint-Martin et le Youth Parliament de Saint-Martin. Les échanges sur les enjeux de la coopération Nord-Sud ont été riches et passionnants. Une jeunesse talentueuse qui a su défendre de belles idées pour l'avenir de l'île. Les jeunes présidents des 2 instances ont remis leurs travaux à la première ministre de Saint-Martin, Sévéra Jacobs, et au président de la collectivité de Saint-Martin, Daniel Gibbs, qui les ont félicités pour la qualité de leurs échanges. Le dimanche 21 mars 2021 à 15h, jusqu'à 19h, les équipes de volleyball, basketball et football des 2 parties de l'île se sont retrouvées sur le complexe sportif du stade Jean-Louis Vanterpool de Marigot pour une grande journée sportive organisée dans le cadre du 373e anniversaire du traité de Concordia. Un tournoi franco-néerlandais plein de rebondissements et une compétition sportive très appréciée par le public dans le respect des règles sanitaires. Donc en volley, victoire de la partie française, 2-7-1. En basketball, la victoire de la partie hollandaise. Et pour terminer, en football, la victoire des Hollandais avec un penalty, 1-0. Et pour terminer, le mardi 23 mars, la très belle cérémonie d'anniversaire du 373e anniversaire du traité de Concordia qui s'est tenu au Mont des Accords. Sans plus tarder, je vous propose quelques extraits de l'anniversaire du traité en images pour vous dans cette édition d'Our News.
Where over the world, say where, you'll find an island there, so lovely small, with nations free, with people French and Dutch, though talking English much, as the St. Martin in the sea. Oh, sweet St. Martin's land, so bright by beach and strand, with sailors on the sea and harbors free, where the chains of mountains green variously in sunlight sheen. Oh, I love my paradise, nature's beauty fairly nice. Oh, I love my paradise, nature's beauty fairly nice. How pretty between all green, flamboyance beam and gleam of flowers red, by sunlight set, thy cow, thy sheep, thy goat, and meadows are on road, thy donkey scheme I can't forget. Oh, sweet St. Martin's land, so bright by beach and strand, with sailors on the sea and harbors free, where the chains of mountains green variously in sunlight sheen. Oh, I love my paradise, nature's beauty fairly nice. Oh, I love my paradise, nature's beauty fairly nice. Thank you.
In difficult times, we are often asked to be strong and to rely on each other, to take care of ourselves, and to check on our friends. 373 years ago, French and Dutch settlers decided that the French and Dutch established on said island shall live as friends and allies, Article 2 of the treaty.
Understand that it is high time, perhaps, based on what it is you guys are going to be exchanging, for every last one of us to get into this discussion as to how significant and how fundamental it is for us to come to a common understanding as to what the Treaty of Concordia is, number one, what it stands for, number two, and to what extent, indeed, it could be beneficial for the future development of this particular territory. How do you feel as young St. Martiners? How do you feel about the existence of that particular treaty? And do you really feel like friendship and alliance qualifies the nature of the arrangements or the reality on this territory? Don't be shy.
I feel like the two terms, friendship and alliance, it does indeed define the relationship between the two parties on St. Martin.
Okay.
It properly defines what we have going on, the different arrangements.
Can you give some examples, perhaps?
Sorry?
Can you give some examples?
Okay, I'm just going to define friendship and alliance within the community.
Okay.
So by friendship, we can see, the youth parliament and the CTJ. We just, have fun when we see each other.
Right.
And alliance is more like a formal structure. So alliance is like, okay, so the Dutch government and the French government coming together to combat one issue together. So that's more of alliance.
Okay.
Okay, I do feel like there's a certain level of friendship and alliance that was meant in the document, the original document, and at the time that it was written and signed. But I do feel like over the years, the friendship aspect kind of lost its value with many, many issues you can see with the border closing during the pandemic, or even like minor issues. You can see that the friendship side left because, as Mr. Clifford said, friendship can be defined, well, when you're friends with someone, you tackle issues together, not as two different counterparties without thinking of how it would affect the other. So I feel like the friendship aspect kind of lost its value over the years.
In terms of friendship and alliances, I'd say they're like the language of cooperation.
Okay.
And I'd say that is something that has been lacking, and that is why I see the Treaty of Concordia as a sort of visionary document, because it pushed for something that I believe we haven't fully reached yet, which is cooperation between the Dutch side and the French side, and maybe even other islands. And in that sense, I do think it is relevant, because the fact is today we are cooperating. So it is relevant right now, but it would be great if it were relevant all the time. Like if this were something we discussed all the time. Thank you. That was my input.
Mirages of true harmony downtrods and eludes our sights. We gather around to remember. We gather around to reaffirm on a day that marks in history of a history between two sovereign states, France, Holland, who sought to coexist in a decreed state of being on this rock.
As we gathered here today, I can say the Treaty of Concordia is an agreement that is standing the test of time. And it is as relevant as it is today as it was the day on which it was agreed on.
Exactly 373 years ago, on this very day, we officially became one in destiny. History could have decided to have us separated, thus having a physical border like it was done in Hispaniola, Haiti, and Dominican Republic. Whom would have thought that at a time where disorder characterized the relationship between European countries, that somewhere over the seas, you have those who would say that the day had come to put an end to the rivalry between France and the Netherlands and make of this island an exemplary of working together and managing jointly.
Where over the world, say where, you'll find an island there so lovely small, with nations free, with people French and Dutch, they say, though talking English much, as my Saint Martin, as yo Saint Martin, our sweet Saint Martin in the sea.
But when I listen to the Prime Minister, when I listen to Valerie, I say we're on the right track. And that's to answer Melissa that read us a beautiful poem. And as you said, Prime Minister, it's time to act. And we are going to act. We have been speaking about it for so long, and I'm happy to hear all these words. I will come to it later in my speech. I'm not going to be too long because you've said it all. I have some message also to pass across in our language. And to Valerie, yes, a lot of work was done with everyone. You know why I'm saying that. I think today is an important date. Some strong message were passed. I'm not going to come back to them. But I guess everyone and each and everyone heard them today.
March 23rd, 2021, we come together from the north and south of our shared island to commemorate the Treaty of Concordia. What better place to do so than at this location on Concordia Hill? We do so in the spirit of the treaty's principle of peaceful coexistence between the people of St. Martin. The treaty recognized the need and value of cooperation for the development of our island.
Pour autant, je vais essayer, avec vous, de porter la voix de la France, la voix de Sainte-Martine, de Saint-Martin, du traité de Concordia, la voix de l'espérance. Liberté. Liberté d'aller et venir. Liberté de circulation des biens et des personnes. Liberté de penser. Liberté d'agir. Liberté à condition de ne pas empiéter sur celle de l'autre. Liberté de comprendre l'autrui, sa pensée, son action publique, son action politique.
Martin is my home.
And I'll do but anything to make it bloom. I think of it, dream of it in the morning, night, or noon.
St. Martin is a wee home.
And to it I give my life to keep it shining.
With the sunshine that comes out in the morning. We made a sacrifice to get it where it is now.
Yeah.
With all our smiling faces, we shared some hard times.
Now nobody wants to give it up to someone who he thinks doesn't know or care about yesterday's and today's hard times we bear.
St. Martin is my home.
And I'll do but anything to make it bloom. I think of it, dream of it in the morning, night, or noon.
St. Martin is a wee home.
And to it I'll give my life to keep it shining. With the sunshine that comes out in the morning. All I wanna see is one
island,
one people,
one destiny.
Like I see it,
One island,
one people.
one destiny.
We gotta come together.
Come together.
Work together.
Work together.
Come together. As one. We gotta come together.
Come together.
Work together.
Work together.
Together. As one. Thank you.
Thank you, Natisha Hansen and Benjamin Bell. St. Martin is my home.
We hope you enjoyed those highlights of the event. This brings us to the end of this edition of our news. Remember to stay safe, practice social distancing, wash your hands often, and always wear your mask.
N'oubliez pas les gestes barrières qui consistent à porter le masque régulièrement, lavez-vous les mains régulièrement et surtout la distanciation sociale qui est très importante.
On behalf of the Communications Department of the Collectivité de Saint-Martin, my name is Keisha Brooks.
Nelson Paul.
Saying thank you for joining us. Hope to see you next time. Have a good evening.
Excellent week-end à vous.